Cajun Charles here. I got some golf stories and golf thoughts, I'm going to share with y'all. And if you haven't ever subscribed, please subscribe. Become one of my friends. Hit the like button. Share it with your friends. Get my number of subscribers up there so I can be somebody. Anyway, merci beaucoup. Hello friends, Cajun Charles here. For those of you that know me really well, family and friends, they know I love to play golf. Love to play golf. And I never played golf. Went to McNeese, graduated from McNeese in 1980, got me a job at First National Bank of Lake Charles. And every morning we'd have coffee in the morning before the bank opened, and then after the bank closed at 2 o'clock, we'd have coffee again in the afternoon. And I was a new guy, 21, 22 years old. I'm sitting there one Friday with my boss and with my boss's boss. They played golf at Lake Charles Country Club. And they sitting around and they said, and they already had a foursome. I think it was a guy, Harry, Bob, Charlie, and Jim. Those 4 guys. They played golf every Saturday and Sunday at Lake Charles Country Club. Well, this particular day, if I remember right, Jim was out of town. And they couldn't find a 4th person. Excuse me. So they looked at me and they said, "Hey, Barrett, you play golf?" I had never played golf in my life. I said, "Sure, yeah, I play golf. Yeah, I know how to play golf." "Well, you be at Lake Charles Country Club tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, and we're going to play golf." Okay. So I go home, and at that time, I was renting a house with a good friend of mine, Jeff. And he played golf. I said, "Jeff, you still got golf gloves?" He said, "Yeah." "Can I borrow them tomorrow? And can we go somewhere and you show me how to hold the clubs so I know how to..." He said, "Charles, you never played golf before in your life. What do you need my golf clubs for?" I said, "I got an 8 o'clock tee time tomorrow at Lake Charles Country Club." So he took me to the range over there and he showed me how to hold the club and which end to hit and whatnot. I went there the next day. 8 o'clock, the first tee at Lake Charles Country Club. Played golf. Hit the ball. Didn't miss it, but I hit it a lot of times. Probably 100 and something. We got finished. We would go inside. We eating a hamburger. They looked at me and said, "What are you doing tomorrow?" "Nothing. 8 o'clock. I'll be here." I played golf with them again. That's when I started playing golf at Lake Charles Country Club with my bosses from work. And then after that, I started going like to Frash Park there in Sulphur. And sometimes I'd play at Mallard Cove in Lake Charles. And I kept getting asked every now and then by my bosses to fill in as the 4th. And finally one day, when I was there, I went to the manager of Lake Charles Country Club and said, "Look, y'all got anything special for somebody my age?" 22 years old, something like that. I said, "Yeah, we got a junior membership. It was $35 a month." I said, "Can I get me an application?" "Sure." So I get it and I fill it out. Next day when I went into work, I went and see Mr. Harry, and he was one of the owners of the bank. And I tell him, I said, "I really appreciate playing golf with y'all whenever y'all need a 4th. But I understand, the bank's paying my guest fee, which would be more, back then it was probably like $50. But they got to pay $50 every time I show up." And so I looked at Mr. Harry and I said, "They got a junior membership there for $35 a month. I could play with y'all all the time y'all need me just for $35 a month. And I know the bank's probably paying $50 or so every time I play, so I thought it might be a good idea." So he kind of leaned back in his chair, him like this, and he kind of smiled, and he looked at me and he said, "Why don't you get me one of them applications?" Well, I had one right there. I gave it to him. He signed it, and that was 43 years ago, something like that, and I've been playing golf ever since. So, in addition to loving to cook, in addition to loving to tell true Cajun stories, I'm going to also tell y'all some golf stories. So you're going to see sometime it's going to say Cajun Charles golf stories or golf thoughts or whatever. But they come. Cajun Charles and golf. Au revoir. Bonsoir.